87 cents. That's what was left in the machine's credit meter when Marcus Rell sat down on that stool. Not a quarter, not a $5 bill someone forgot to cash out. 87 cents. 10 minutes later, the same machine was screaming, lights spinning, and a shift manager was sprinting across the floor holding a walkie-talkie like it was on fire. Marcus had just won $2.9 million on a jackpot that, by every reasonable measure, should have belonged to somebody else. Let me take you back. Late October 2019, a dusty Tuesday night at a mid-sized casino called Silver Fern Resort, tucked into the outskirts of Reno, Nevada. Not the Strip, not glamorous. The kind of place where the carpet smells faintly like cigarettes from '94 and the buffet closes at 10. Silver Fern had about 800 machines on the floor and a regular crowd of what the pit called the lifers, retirees, night shift workers, the occasional trucker passing through. Marcus Rell wasn't any of those. He was a 38-year-old HVAC technician from Sparks who came in maybe twice a month, dropped $40 on video poker, ate a plate of nachos, and drove home. He wasn't a whale. He wasn't a high roller. He was, in the words of one pit boss who later gave a statement to the Gaming Commission, the least interesting man on the floor, which is what makes this whole thing so wild. Here's the setup. There was a bank of progressive slots along the north wall of Silver Fern, a game called Emerald Cascade, nickel denomination, but with a linked progressive that had been climbing for almost 14 months. The jackpot on the marquee that night read $2,941,612 and change. Progressives on that network hit, on average, every 18 months, so this one was late, overdue. The kind of number that had regulars circling like sharks. One of those regulars was a woman named Dana Priebe, 59 years old, worked overnights at a call center, and had been playing that exact machine number 4 in the row of 6, for the better part of a year. She had a system. She'd feed 20s into it, play the max wager, which was $3.75 a spin, and grind through her bankroll every couple of nights. Everyone at Silver Fern knew Dana. The cocktail waitresses knew her drink. The pit knew her by name. That Tuesday, Dana had been at machine number 4 since 7 in the evening. By 10:40, she'd burned through almost $600. She was tired, frustrated. And then her cousin called. Some family emergency, a sick dog. The details later got a little muddy in the retelling. Dana stood up. She looked at the machine. There was 87 cents left in the credit meter, not even enough for a single spin at max wager. She grabbed her purse, threw her jacket over her arm, and walked out. She didn't cash out that 87 cents. She didn't press the button. She just left it there, sitting on the meter, glowing. Now here's where it gets interesting. Silver Fern, like most casinos, has a rule about abandoned credits. Technically, if you walk away from a machine, those credits stay until someone else sits down and either plays them off or cashes them out. There's no time limit written in stone. The house doesn't reclaim them after 15 minutes. They just sit there, waiting. 12 minutes after Dana left, Marcus Rell came around the corner from the nachos counter, wiping cheese off his fingers with a paper napkin. He wasn't looking for Emerald Cascade. He didn't even play slots, really. He was walking to the video poker section on the far wall, but he passed machine number 4, saw the credits glowing, and did what almost anyone would do. He sat down. He looked around. Nobody was watching. He hit the spin button. 87 cents wasn't enough for a full max wager, so the machine only let him bet a partial line, 25 cents on a single pay line, instead of the full $3.75 across all 15 lines. That's the detail that matters. Remember it, because on that reduced wager, on that single line, on somebody else's leftover credits, the reels landed on 5 emerald symbols in a row. The jackpot hit, $2,941,612, on a 25-cent spin, on a machine Dana Priebe had just spent 4 hours and $600 pounding on. Marcus, by all accounts, sat there for about 90 seconds, not fully understanding what was happening. He thought it was a bonus round. He thought maybe he'd won like $100. Then a pit boss named Rico Alvarez came sprinting across the floor, and the look on Rico's face is what told Marcus this was real. And here's where the story fractures into a war. Because within about 40 minutes, Dana Priebe was back. She'd handled the family thing, or hadn't, and she came back to finish playing her machine. She walked through the front doors, saw the crowd, saw the machine, saw Marcus standing there being interviewed by a floor manager with a clipboard, and she lost her mind. She screamed. She actually physically grabbed Marcus by the sleeve. Security had to pull her off. She was yelling that it was her machine, her credits, her jackpot, that she'd been playing it all night, that everyone in the building knew it was her spot. And listen, I get it. Emotionally, I get it. You grind for 4 hours, you leave for 12 minutes, and some guy eating nachos walks up and steals what feels like your win. That's brutal. That's the kind of thing that ends people. But legally, that jackpot belonged to Marcus. Nevada Gaming Control Board rules are clear on this. The player who initiates the winning spin gets the payout. Doesn't matter whose money was in the machine, doesn't matter who was sitting there 10 minutes earlier. The spin belongs to whoever pushes the button, period. Dana hired a lawyer. Of course she did. She sued Silver Fern and she sued Marcus personally, arguing that the 87 cents were her property, and therefore any winnings derived from those credits should legally be hers. Her lawyer built a whole theory around it. Bailment law, unclaimed property, the works. Quick honest aside, the way Silver Fern handled this whole mess, dragging their feet on paying Marcus out for almost 11 weeks while the lawyers wrestled, that's exactly the kind of thing that makes me picky about where I sit down. Me, if I ever play, it's only spots I've vetted myself because payouts don't stall and there's no runaround when it's time to cash out. Where exactly I left in the description below. Back to the story. The case dragged on for almost 2 years, and the Nevada Gaming Control Board ultimately sided with Marcus, unanimously. The credits on a machine, once left behind, are considered abandoned property of the establishment, not the previous player. And any spin initiated by a new player is that new player's action, with all wins and losses attached to them. Marcus walked away with the full $2.9 million. After taxes, closer to $1.8. He quit HVAC. He bought a small house in Fernley. He told a local reporter he still eats nachos at Silver Fern about once a month, but he doesn't sit at machine number 4 anymore. Out of respect, he said, or superstition. He didn't clarify. Dana Priebe never went back to Silver Fern. Her lawyer told the press she'd moved to Arizona. Now here's the question that splits the room every single time this story comes up. Legally, Marcus is squeaky clean. The rules are the rules and he followed them. But ethically? He sat down at a machine somebody else had been playing for 4 hours, used her leftover credits to press the button, and walked away with $2.9 million of what she felt was her jackpot. Is that fair game? Or is that the kind of move that keeps you up at night? The house says one thing, your gut might say another. Tell me where you land, because I've told this story to about a dozen people, and it splits 50-50 every single time.